Good day, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful learning discussion with me. I am Sir Michael Havinas, and for this video, we will be discussing our topic under the subject Ed 304, the teacher and the community, school culture and organizational leadership, particularly focused on Unit 4, Topic B, organizational culture of schools, with the subtopics, the descriptions, the levels, and the functions of culture. Now, before proceeding to our discussion, allow me first to set the objectives for this lesson. So, for knowledge, investigate how the organizational culture supports or inhibits the availability and effectiveness of professional development opportunities for educators, for skills, collaborate effectively within interdisciplinary teams, leveraging individual strengths to achieve common goals and objectives that support the overall school culture, and for A or the effective, develop a personal understanding and appreciation of the core values upheld by the school's organizational culture. Now, first, let's proceed to the descriptions of an organizational culture of schools as proposed by various intellectuals. First, let's go over to the description provided by Henry Mintzberg in 1988 or 1989 rather. So he refers to culture as an organization ideology or the traditions and beliefs of an organization that distinguishes it from other organizations and infuse a certain life into the skeleton of its structures. So basically, Mintzberg says or proposes that culture is something that is unique to a certain type of entity. Now let's proceed to the second description as proposed by Stephen Robbins in 1998. So he defines organization culture as a system of shared meaning held by members that distinguishes the organization from other organizations. So it has the same qualities with the descriptions by Mintzberg. However, Robbins is more focused on the culture as a system of shared meaning between the members of that certain organization. Lastly, we have the description provided by Edgar Schein in 1992. He said that culture should be reserved for a deeper level of basic assumptions, values, and beliefs that become shared and taken for granted as the organization continues to be successful. So, on a more in depth analysis, Sheen provided a more substantial description of what an organizational culture should be. So, overall, our general definition of organizational culture is a system of shared orientations that holds the unit together and give it a distinctive identity. So, orientations and values, as well as the norms and tacit assumptions, are part of it. So now that we have set the descriptions for the organizational culture of schools, let's now proceed to the levels. So, as flashed on the screen, we have here the three levels of culture as provided by Sheen. So the organizational culture of schools manifests at various levels, each contributing to the overall character and identity of the institution. These levels help understand how culture permeates different aspects of the educational environment. And these three primary levels are the visible artifacts. So this level represents the observable elements of culture such as ceremonies, rituals, physical spaces, and visible symbols within the school. So visible artifacts are also tangible. Examples are ceremonies and traditions like the graduation ceremonies as well as the baccalaureate ceremonies, award ceremonies or the recognition programs, or weekly assemblies that embody the school values. Another one is the physical environment. Here we have the layout, the design, and the aesthetic elements of classrooms and common areas that is found within the premises of the school. Lastly, we have the symbols and the logos. So, for some schools, they have school mascots, and generally every schools certainly have logos or emblems that serve as visible representation or symbolisms of that certain institution. Now, let's proceed to the espoused values. So this level involves the officially stated beliefs, principles, and philosophies that guide the educational mission of the school. It reflects the articulated values that the institution strives to uphold and embody. So example, the mission statements. So official statements outlining the school's purpose, goals, and values. So for instance, in our school, the Negros Oriental State University, we have our own unique mission and vision as well as core value statements that really encapsulates the values that the school wanted us to embody and to practice in our everyday life as well as in our academic career and professional growth. Next is the educational philosophy. So, stated principles guiding teaching approaches and the curriculum development and overall educational strategies. So, overall educational philosophy refers to the pedagogical approach to teaching that involves highly academic means to foster learning in the school environment. Next is the official policies. So there are formal rules and policies that embody the school values and expectations. So again, as a very common ground for all institutions, especially in educational institution, official policies are well crafted and polished to condone illegal or unwanted acts and to reserve and conserve or preserve as well the values that should be instilled within each student or each faculty of that school to maintain camaraderie and good values. Next, we have the underlying assumptions. So this level represents the implicit, often unspoken, beliefs and assumptions that shape the behavior and the decision making within the school community in its deepest and most ingrained level of culture. So again, the underlying assumptions may refer to the spoken and unspoken rules within the institution. So example again, the unwritten rules. So informal expectations and norms that govern daily interactions and behaviors. So one very good thing about unwritten rules is that it guides us to do the things that we must do even though it's not utterly stated. Next is the shared beliefs. So commonly held assumptions about teaching and learning and the roles of different stakeholders. And lastly, we have the cultural narratives, which are the stories, anecdotes that are shared within the school community, influencing perceptions and attitudes that really have a very huge impact to the overall quality of the students and of the institution in its totality. So, understanding these levels of organization in the culture provides educators, administrators, and stakeholders with insights into the various dimensions that shape the cultural fabric of an institution or of the school. Lastly, let's proceed to the function of culture. So the functions of an organizational culture within the context of school plays a crucial role in shaping the overall improvement and environment as well as the interactions and effectiveness of the educational institution. These functions encompasses a range of impacts on individual groups and the institution as a whole. So we have 10 functions of the organizational culture of the school. First, we have social cohesion. So, organizational culture fosters a sense of community and togetherness within the school. Second, identity and purpose. Culture defines the school's identity and purpose by answering fundamental questions about what the school stands for, its mission, and its overarching goals. Next is the behavior regulation. So, culture establishes norms and expectations for behavior within the school community. Adaptability and innovation. So, a positive organizational culture encourages adaptability to change and supports innovation. Attraction and retention. School with a strong positive culture are more likely to attract and retain talented educators and students, of course. Next is communication and collaboration. So, a robust culture promotes open communication and collaboration among all its members. 7. Learning and development. Culture plays a crucial role in supporting continuous learning and professional development. 8. Conflict resolution. Culture influences the approaches to conflict resolution within the school. Ninth, the shared values and ethics. So culture establishes and reinforces shared values and ethical principles within the school community. And lastly, we have promotion of well-being, which goes that a positive culture contributes to the overall well-being of individuals within the school community. So that's all from our report. Thank you for listening.